Hi, it's Monday, March 15th, and this is reading. I'm so excited about reading today because we're going to read this. The Camping Trip That Changed America, Theodore Roosevelt, John Muir, and Our National Parks. Now, we've been doing biographies lately, and the very first biography that I ever read was a book about Theodore Roosevelt, and he is one of my favorite presidents. His life was it was such a good book. His life is fascinating from the time he was little at the beginning of the book to all the way as he grew up, and then in the middle of the book is when he became president, and then after he was president, he did some more really crazy stuff. And so his life was just like start to end was just fascinating. I loved it. So speaking of first, middle, last, start to last, let's talk about our skill for today. We are going to talk about text organization. And text organization is like if you're an author and you wanted to write something to inform, you want to inform your readers about something that you are an expert in, you would get to decide what's the best way to share this information. Do I just say everything as it comes to my mind? Probably not. You want to organize it in a way that helps the reader to really understand it. Now, we know that text organization, our main text organization that we've studied this year is chronological order, which means when the author has decided to present the text in the same order as it happened. So beginning to end, start to finish. Now, let's take a look at those clue words. Here's how if you see these words, you might be reading chronological order. When you see something like first, then you might be at the beginning. Middle, you might see words like next and then. Or at the end, words like finally and last. And so when you start to see that, you might be reading a chronological order text. There's also, so not just events in history, like what happened first, then last, but also something called a procedural text, which we're going to read tomorrow. Procedural is when it's like telling you how to do something in order. Like step one, do this, then do that. So 2 different chronological orders. Can you guess which one this is going to be? Is this going to teach us how to do something step by step? Or is it going to tell us about an event in history? Look how happy he is. I bet you guessed correctly that this is going to tell us about an event in history or some things that happened in history. Oh, and it's so good. You're going to love it. Before we read it, let's check out these new vocabulary words that will be in this text. First, the word attended. If you attended a place or event, you went to it, attended. Those parents attended the play. Soared. If something soared, it rose up high into the sky. The eagle soared. Immigrant. An immigrant is someone who moves to this country who was not born there, to a country where he or she was not born. Immigrant. Sideways. Wilderness. Now look at that word. It has wild in it. See that at the beginning? Looks like wilderness. Wilderness. A wilderness is a large area of land that's not used by people. Wilderness. Settled. If you settle into something, then you become comfortable in it. Settled. Mom settled into the comfortable chair while talking on the phone. And last, vanishing. Something that is vanishing is going away. Vanishing. What in the world could be vanishing in this book? What do you think? Him? Because he's riding away. He could be vanishing. I'll give you a hint though. It says here in the title that it's Theodore Roosevelt, John Muir, and our national parks. Have you heard of a national park? Well, let's go over to Station 2 and let's read this book. It's awesome. Bring a paper and a pencil. See you there.